came out last week that the former president of Mexico, his name is Fox, right?
Vicente Fox.
Vicente Fox. How did I do?
Very good.
He has apologized to Donald Trump. And I just think this came out of Trump. This is where this came from. The guy says this whole diatribe about Donald Trump. And all of a sudden, Trump takes the little element out where he says, "I'm sorry." And Trump then tweets out, he's apologized to me. And sure enough, he did. And this is how it went. "If I offended you, I'm sorry. But what about the other way around?" That was the statement that was made by the former Mexican president. Now, I don't see that as an apology necessarily. And here's the interview he did the day before. And the photo, by the way, he took with the interviewer. There they are giving the bird to Donald Trump. He's a class act, this guy. And we're
worried about Trump not being presidential.
This is right. This was the day before. So Donald Trump likes giving nicknames to enemies, but now he's got a couple of his own. He is the ugly American, according to Mexican President Vicente Fox.
Former Mexican president.
That's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah, he is the ugly American. Former Mexican President Vicente Fox said in an interview on Kick-Ass Politics. It's a podcast, and you can only imagine, but it's on video. He is the hated gringo because he's attacking all of us. He's offending all of us. Fox also repeated his opinion of Trump's proposed border wall. "I'm not going to pay for that blanking wall," he told Ben Mathis, the interviewer. "And please don't take out the blank word, the F word. Leave it in." Although the interview will be released on Tuesday, that's today, it was recorded before Fox apologized the day before during the Breitbart interview, where he said, if I offended you, I'm sorry. But what about the other way around? So Trump kills me, though, because it becomes, you ever get in an argument with a person or a dispute with a person and you walk out of the room and their interpretation of it is completely distorted. Or maybe it doesn't agree with you, but it's clearly, I'm looking at the words that came out of everybody's mouth and it's completely distorted. Or one little sliver of it is taken out of context and used. That's kind of what happened here. He really didn't apologize.
Why does Fox keep saying, "I'm not going to pay for that blanking wall"? He's not the president anymore.
I know. Well,
because he's talking and we give him a microphone.
It's a point, yeah. In the interview, he says he was anything but apologetic. He called the presumptive Republican presidential nominee crazy and a false prophet and compared him to Latin American demagogues who destroy economies. He also said some of Trump's proposals could lead to war. "Don't play around with us," he said. "We can jump walls, we can swim rivers, and we can defend ourselves," end quote. So
wow.
I think there's two things to come out of this. Number one is that this guy's just nuts. The other thing is everyone said the same thing last week after hearing just that headline. Remember that former president that used the F word with Donald Trump? He's now apologized. In fact, it's not really an apology.
It's not.
And everybody, when they heard that, was like, wow, maybe they're realizing. We even had the conversation here. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're realizing that Trump means business and he's afraid of him. And which bolstered a Trump fan and saying, look at that. Even now, the former president of Mexico is coming out and apologizing. This shows you the clout that Donald Trump has. No, it shows you that Donald Trump can take a sliver out of a sentence and tweet it out, and that becomes fact. When it, in fact, is not fact. That's just my take on the whole thing.
I have to tell you, too, Fox's comment there really plays into a stereotype for like...
Don't play around with us. We can jump walls, we can swim rivers, and we can defend ourselves. As opposed to... Don't say these things about us. We are not all drug dealers. We are not all rapists and criminals. Instead, he's saying, hey, we can jump walls. We can climb walls. We're going to come after you, and we will defend ourselves. Andrew Dominio.
Well, technically, so we talk about this guy being the former president, and he says, I'm not going to pay for that wall. Technically, if he's a taxpayer in Mexico, he would be paying for the wall.
Yeah, but
right, well,
the way he's saying it, though, makes it sound like
he's not only the president, but he is the dictator.
And the
he's
treasurer.
And the treasurer. Okay, a couple other stories that I think are pretty interesting. Do I have time to throw these in?
Yeah.
17 after? Yeah, I'm okay. Arkansas judge accused, did you see this one? In Arkansas, Little Rock, an Arkansas judge has been accused of trading sentence reductions for what? Anybody?
I'm going to say it's something sexual related. He's sleeping with somebody.
He has been charged with, by a state panel, trading sentence reductions with young men in trade for sexual excursions or what have you. Joseph Bachman, State District Court in Wynne, Arkansas, was suspended over the scandal in November by the Arkansas Supreme Court, which has jurisdiction over the state's lower courts. He was accused of issuing sentences to certain defendants and offering sentence reductions or dismissals if they would succumb to his advances. Okay, we're good with that one? Hey, we're all people here.
I can't believe it.
Arkansas judge resigns now after thousands of nude photos of defendants were found on his computer. Because up to this point, he's been denying the whole thing. Well, his computer showed differently. He had thousands of defendants on his computer naked.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, move over Bald Eagle. Have you heard the latest? Just when we are talking about how the Bald Eagle is making a comeback here in upstate New York and in central New York, the Washington, because we don't have anything better to do, they have now named the official mammal of the United States under new legislation signed into law by President Barack Obama on Monday. It is now going to be, anybody?
I already know it. So.
The bison, the buffalo.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently a lot of Bills fans out there.
Wow.
Yeah. Millions of bison once roamed the Great Plains. About 500,000 now live in the United States. That dinging in the background is Jim Zecca, I think. I would bet you $50 after the comments.
Really?
After the comments about Trump. Jim, if you want to call in, feel free. 736-0186. We'll take your call. And how about this? A new cure, potential cure for, come on, Jim, a new potential cure for migraine headaches.
That's not Botox?
And it is not Botox. It is a pea-sized device that produces weak pulses of electricity, currently being tested as a treatment for migraine headaches. It's called the Stim Relieve Halo System. Consists of a tiny implant. You implant it into the woman. In many cases, it's women, but men also get migraine headaches. Just under the skin, and a battery which clips to the ear and sends electric pulses to it wirelessly. More than 140 people are taking the part in the U.S. trial, where they will have the implant fitted, but half won't have the batteries activated. Patients can trigger an electric signal using a button on the battery. Migraines are thought to result from abnormal brain activity. Wouldn't it be something if maybe? Oh, we're looking at a test pattern. I think they've lost the signal on TV. We could very well be looking at maybe this could be a cure, and it's not medicine. And do you want to know quickly the 5 states, the best states to grow old in America?
I think Florida's got to be on the list. They're all warm weather places, right?
I guess. Caring.com, an online resource for caregivers, released a nationwide ranking of the best places to grow old. At that age, we really need to start thinking about some place that is stable, they say. Indeed, the top 5 states on the list are those commonly thought of as retirement destinations. Florida lands in the 31st spot, while California comes in at 16th. Instead,
what?
Number 1 is South Dakota as the best place. If you're going to grow old, it is the best place to grow old. South Dakota. All right, not Florida. You know why not Florida? Because everybody's got their stinking signal light on down there. They won't turn off the signal light. They're driving slowly. They're all on those little rascals. Move to South Dakota. There's nobody there.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, that's the biggest thing for people wanting to grow old. Nobody will bother them.
That's it.
Nobody will come visit them.
I want to grow old where ain't nobody there.
Yeah.
And there you have it. So 821